So this information is all going to be preliminary. It all began in the West Valley on State Route 85 just before 10 a.m. One of our sergeants attempted a traffic stop on a red Jeep SUV northbound on State Route 85 at milepost 138, which is north of the prison and south of MC 85. That vehicle failed to yield to our sergeant and a pursuit was initiated. Additional troopers responded to the pursuit and they attempted to spike the SUV on State Route 85. The SUV was able to successfully go around the spike, so they were ineffective. The vehicle continued northbound to Interstate 10, where the pursuit continued eastbound on Interstate 10 towards the valley, towards the Phoenix area. We continued to follow that vehicle, and the pursuit speeds ranged, they varied from 60 to 65, things like that. As it entered the valley, got closer to 59th Avenue, we were able to get an air unit overhead to help us with the pursuit. At that time, all of our marked units backed away from the pursuit, meaning they disengaged, they deactivated their lights and their siren, and the vehicle continued eastbound on Interstate 10 with the air unit telling us where that vehicle was going. The red SUV traveled eastbound on Interstate 10 where it transitioned to the 202 Red Mountain eastbound. Again, we continued with some unmarked vehicles following at a distance with the air unit calling our pursuit for us. The vehicle came up to Scottsdale Road where it exited at Scottsdale Road and turned south. If you go south on Scottsdale Road, it turns into Rural Road in Tempe. As that vehicle approached one of the stoplights, it was held up in traffic. At that point, two of our unmarked vehicles attempted to box in the SUV to get it to stop and take the suspect into custody. The suspect veered to the right and rammed one of our patrol cars and then continued southbound at a high rate of speed, where as it approached Spence Avenue, it sideswiped a white SUV and then continued into the intersection where it struck a black SUV almost head on, causing a major collision. The red SUV that the suspect was driving continued south where it lost control and ended up further south of here, of Spence. The suspect exited his vehicle and he was taken into custody shortly after. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to identify our suspect. He is 31-year-old Mitchell Timothy Table, and that last name is spelling Taebel. He is 31. Right now we know that he has a California driver's license. He is in the booking process now, but has not yet been booked. He had minor injuries. He was transported from the scene here and treated and then released to our custody. The driver of the white SUV that he initially sideswiped was not injured, and the driver of the black SUV was injured. She was also transported, but she has non-life-threatening injuries, and she is a 47-year-old female. So we have multiple investigators on scene. As you know, this is going to be a very big investigation. It's going to take some time. We want to thank the Tempe Police Department for their help. They're providing traffic control for us here in the area. They've brought out their command van for us as well so that we can give sustenance to our investigators as they're going to be out here for a while. I don't have an ETA to open up Rural Road in the area, at least 3 to 4 more hours before we can open it all up. And I can take a...
Trooper Lee, tell us about exactly why that vehicle was being stopped. We haven't heard that yet.
So he was being stopped for a moving traffic violation. Again, through our investigation, we'll find out more of why he fled, but what we do know is our suspect does have an extensive criminal history of both violent felony convictions and misdemeanor convictions in several states. That information will come forth more in the investigation, but that's what we know right now.
But the initial contact, the initial spotting of this guy was for a moving violation. You didn't know who this guy was prior to
we did not know. As far as I know right now in this preliminary, our sergeant did not know who he was stopping. It was just for a moving traffic violation.
And when you say a lengthy criminal record, is that out of California? California plates on the car, or is it?
It's multiple states outside of Arizona. We do know that he has California. I don't know if his convictions are in California. We do know he has some criminal convictions in New York as well as Florida.
Your initial inspection of that red Jeep, find anything inside as far as what would motivate him to run?
I don't have any of that information right now. That will come with the investigation.
It seems like on scanner traffic there was some mentions made of a sovereign citizen, and this guy saying that he wasn't, the laws didn't apply to him. Is there any truth to that? Can you comment on that?
So the only thing I can say is that's something that we will investigate. You know, we'll take those statements, but just because somebody gives those statements doesn't always mean it's true. So we'll take those statements. It'll be part of our investigation. But I can't confirm that he's actually claiming to be a sovereign citizen.
Can you give us a DOB on him?
I don't have his DOB, but we will send out his DOB for you.
Now let's talk about the victim. What do we know about the victim? Where was she headed to? Where was she coming from?
We don't have that information right now, okay? The only thing we know is that she's her age and that she is going to be okay. So right now that's all we have for you, and we'll send out updates as we get them. We are putting together an incident management for this incident, and we will send you updates on that.
The criminal convictions were in New York. Did you say Florida also?
Florida, yes.
Trooper Lee, will you answer some questions in regards to the chase? It came into a very populated area. Should it have been suspended before that time?
I'm not going to comment on that right now, okay? All right, we're done. Thank you.